Have you ever really stopped to think about how deep digital transformation is going in healthcare? I mean, everywhere you look.
Oh, absolutely. It's not just the big things like telemedicine anymore. It's weaving into every single specialty.
Exactly. And that's bringing this need for really specific, tailored solutions.
Which brings us nicely to our topic today, the global optometry EMR software market. We've got some fascinating projections here, mainly from cognitive market research, and they paint a picture of a niche, maybe, but definitely a booming sector. Okay, let's unpack this. Our goal isn't just to read out numbers, right? It's to figure out what these trends really mean for healthcare and, for you listening.
You've hit on something really key there. This isn't just about eye doctors. It's a perfect case study almost of how specialized EMRs, electronic medical records, are becoming, well, totally critical in digital health. And this data, it gives us a super clear view of where things are headed globally for these kinds of systems. Okay, let's start with that global picture then. And when we say soaring, we really mean it. Globally, the market was valued at, $689.383 million in 2021.
So just under $700 million. Okay.
Right. But get this, it's projected to jump to over $1.1 billion. That's $1,132 million by 2025.
That's nearly double in just 4 years.
Exactly. And then it really takes off. By 2033, the projection is $352.23 million, over $3 billion.
Wow.
That's a compound annual growth rate, a CEGR of 13.2% year over year. Just think about that kind of consistent growth.
Yeah, that 13.2% AGR globally, it signals something much bigger than just, a good market. It really points to a fundamental shift in how optometry practices are actually working day to day worldwide.
A fundamental shift, like moving away from paper.
Well, yes, partly,
Like,
but also moving away from maybe generic EMRs that don't quite fit their workflow. We're talking specialized platforms now, streamlining everything from patient history during an exam to managing prescriptions to billing. It's about optimizing the whole process.
right, making things smoother and maybe improving patient care too.
Yeah. Precisely. It's foundational.
Okay, so with that massive global growth as the backdrop, let's zoom in a bit. Where are the sort of established leaders? North America comes to mind.
Yeah, North America is definitely still a powerhouse here.
The numbers show it. Revenue was about $262.655 million in 2021, and it's expected to grow to $424.621 million in 2025, and then hit $1,122.32 million by 2033.
Okay, so over $1 billion just in North America by 2033.
Yeah, with a strong CGR2, almost 13%, 12.922% to be exact. And within North America, no surprise, the U.S. is the biggest piece of the pie. It started at $186.572 million in 2021, and it's projected to reach $764 million, almost, by 2033. That's a 12.5% CAGR.
Still very solid growth for the biggest market.
But look at its neighbors. Canada is showing really strong growth, 13.9% CAGR, going from about $50 million to over $250 million. And Mexico's not far behind, 13.6% CAGR, expected to hit over $100 million by 2033 from $25 million in 21.
So why are these regions, especially North America, holding such a large share? I think it boils down to early adoption, really, and just robust healthcare infrastructure.
They got started earlier.
Pretty much. They had the capital, often the regulatory nudges, to get EMRs integrated sooner, so their growth now is partly about optimizing what they have, maybe upgrading to these newer, specialized optometry systems.
That makes sense. Okay, so that's North America, mature but still growing fast. Let's shift over to Europe. What's the story there?
Europe's interesting. Similar strong growth, but maybe slightly different drivers.
Okay, the numbers. Europe generated $209.573 million in 2021, and it's expected to reach almost $900 million, $890.837 million by 2033. The CGR there is 12.8%, very close to North America's rate.
Bit consistent, yeah.
And within Europe, the UK seems to be lead. It was at $47 million in 2021, projected to grow to over $225 million by 2033. That's a high CGR too, nearly 13.8%.
Mm-hmm.
Germany and France are also big players, both with KGRs over 12%, Germany at 12.58%, France at 12.2%.
Solid growth across the major economies.
But here's something I found interesting. The rest of Europe category, it shows an even higher growth rate. Almost 15% CAGR, 14.961%, growing from about $20 million to over $100 million. Suggests opportunities are spreading out, right?
That's a great point. What's fascinating about Europe is that strong, consistent growth, despite, very different healthcare systems and economies country to country. North America might be driven more by large private systems, but in Europe, it's often a mix. National health initiatives pushes for systems to talk to each other.
Interoperability.
Exactly. And also just adoption by lots of smaller, independent practices. That rest of Europe figure really highlights how this digital wave isn't just hitting the big guys, it's spreading across the continent.
All right, now let's talk about the regions where things are moving even faster, the rapid accelerators. Asia Pacific.
Yeah, this is where we see some really eye-popping growth rates.
The overall market there, $133 million in 2021, projected to grow to $624 million by 2033. That's a 13.7% CAGR overall for the region. Pretty impressive.
Nearly a five-fold increase.
And within that, China is just dominant. It's expected to go from about $54 million to over $260 million, a 14% CAGR.
Huge scale there.
But then you look at places like India and Taiwan. They start smaller, but the rate of growth. India's got one of the fastest KGRs globally, almost 14.5%, 14.497%, growing from under $7 million to $35 million.
Wow, percentage-wise, it's huge.
And Taiwan. The source calls its growth exceptional. Highest KGR in the region at over 17%, 17.198%, from under $3 million to nearly $17.5 million.
So what's fueling that kind of rapid acceleration in Asia Pacific?
Good question. Is it just catching up or something else?
I think it's often a case of leapfrogging. Instead of dealing with old, complex legacy systems, many practices are just starting fresh with modern digital tools.
Like going straight to cloud-based EMRs.
Exactly. Imagine a new clinic opening up. They might not even consider paper records. They build digital from day one. Plus, you have factors like a growing middle class demanding better healthcare, increased access, and all feeds into it.
Okay, leapfrogging makes sense. Now, speaking of remarkable growth, Africa.
Yes, Africa's numbers are really striking.
The region as a whole shows an outstanding KGR, 15.621%, going from about $25.5 million in 2021 up to nearly $160 million by 2033.
Over 15.5% annual growth is serious acceleration.
Nigeria is a big part of that with a 15.3% CAGR, and South Africa is highlighted as rapidly growing. Its CAGR is 16.3%. That's actually the highest single country CAGR we've seen in this data.
It really is, and it prompts that question, doesn't it? What specific structural things are enabling this surge in Africa?
What do you?
Well, it seems to be a combination of factors. Increased investment in healthcare, certainly, a growing private sector, and crucially, the explosion of mobile technology. That creates a platform for digital health solutions, even in areas with less traditional infrastructure.
So a doctor could use a smartphone and a cloud EMR.
Precisely. Even in a more remote setting, they can manage records, schedule follow-ups, things that were much harder before. It's meeting real needs for eye care.
Incredible potential there. Okay, let's quickly round out the globe. South America.
South America shows solid growth, too, following that global trend.
Yeah, the market there was around $30 million in 2021, projected to hit $122 million by 2033, with a 12.4% CAGR. Brazil leads the way there. 12.668% CAGR, growing from $15 million to over $63 million.
Again, it fits that pattern focus on improving access, efficiency, adopting digital tools as part of a broader healthcare push, consistent expansion.
And finally, the Middle East.
Another region with strong growth dynamics.
Stood at about $28 million in 2021, expected to grow to nearly $133 million by 2033. That's a robust CAGR of 13.861%.
Very strong.
And Saudi Arabia and the UAE are highlighted, both growing fast, over 14.4% CAGR each. Saudi at 14.54%, UAE at 14.47%.
Yeah, and in the Middle East, you can often link that high growth directly to strategic national investments. Many countries there are actively building state-of-the-art healthcare infrastructure as part of their economic diversification plans.
So they're building for the future, and specialized EMRs fit right in.
Exactly. They're designing modern systems from the outset.
Okay, wow. We've covered a lot of ground, a lot of numbers. So let's bring it all together. What does this actually mean? Why should this deep dive matter to you listening right now?
Well, I think if we connect the dots, the message is pretty clear. These numbers point to huge, transformative opportunities unfolding in healthcare, driven by digitization.
Yeah, it's not just growth, it's transformation.
Right. You've got the big established markets like North America and Europe still growing strongly, refining their systems. And then you have this explosive growth in emerging markets, Asia Pacific, Africa, rapidly modernizing how healthcare is delivered. It really shows a global commitment to using specialized digital tools to improve patient care, manage data better, and make practices run more efficiently.
So it's bigger than just optometry.
Much bigger. It's about this relentless march towards a truly integrated, specialized digital healthcare everywhere.
Okay, and here's where it gets really interesting for me. Thinking about the future, what's the role of these super specialized EMRs going forward? Are we heading towards a future where every specialty, dermatology, cardiology, dentistry, you name it, has its own perfectly tailored software?
That's the multi-billion-dollar question, isn't it?
Or will we see more integration, maybe platforms that can handle multiple specialties?
It could go either way, or perhaps a mix of both.
Okay, so let's try and summarize the key takeaway from all this. The optometry EMR software market isn't just ticking upwards, it's undergoing this massive global expansion. It's fueled by digital transformation, but with really different stories playing out region by region dominance here, rapid acceleration there.
Absolutely. And that leads to a really thought-provoking question for you, the listener, to ponder. As these digital solutions get more and more granular, more tailored to specific needs, think beyond optometry. What other specialized healthcare sectors do you think are on the verge of this kind of, well, market explosion? Where's the next big wave in niche health tech going to hit?
That's a great question to end on. Where else will we see this happen? We hope this deep dive has given you a clearer view of this really dynamic slice of digital health. Keep exploring, keep asking questions, and we'll catch you on the next deep dive.